Today on Waking Up in America, I'm talking to Amber Lilyestrom, soul-based branding and business coach, creative entrepreneur, and writer. Amber's goal is to help her clients connect with their personal definition of freedom, and from there, build businesses that communicate authentic messages and change lives.
I'm Tai Chi. At 19, I was a superstar, and I was lost inside. I left it all behind, switched continents, and started all over. Years later, I found myself lost again. This time in the American dream. This is a story about awakening, about living the life you were created for, about going inward and discovering the joyous and purposeful person you and I are both meant to be. This is Waking Up in America. Amber, I'm so glad this happened finally.
Finally.
In Boston.
We're together.
How cool.
I know.
You worked on our brand, and I'm so grateful to you for that. I met you through a Facebook group, and you were recommended to me by another lady from England. Mm-hmm. I love how we're all connected.
No.
It's just so much power in that, isn't it?
Really.
So what I first felt from just even like, you know, communicating through internet was this huge, just intense love and power and energy and just really belief that anything is possible and you can do it.
Right. You can.
I want to know, where does that come from for you?
Yeah. So for me, you know, I think it just comes from my childhood experiences of being an athlete. And so aptly we're in this athletic venue to do this episode. And then my whole journey has just been, you know, just through my body experiencing challenges and being in the world and facing facing my fears essentially, and just trying to push through it and physically doing it. Thus, convincing myself, realizing that if I think about what it is I want to do, I can actually physically do it on the planet. And so starting as a young athlete was a really great place to learn that lesson.
Yes, because I understand, you know, coming from the world of music, I guess for me it's, you know, it's visualizing that I am performing and everything's going well. But it doesn't really work as well because it's not that shot that you can see so clearly. And I love that about athletes, that you get to practice that really focused visualizing the score.
Right, the repetition. And also what you are physically capable of, you know, within the space of a team environment and all that. At the end of the day,
I don't know any of that.
you're responsible for what you bring, right, to that team. And so I think being part of a team was a really great learning opportunity for me. And then it translated into my career as well as a collegiate athletics marketing administrator. And so that's why we are here at Boston College, because I have some lovely friends who have made it possible for us to be here. But it's really cool for me too to look back at that ice rink and realize that, you know, for 10 years I was entertaining crowds and working with season ticket holders and fans and interacting with the athletes and the coaches and now to be here on my entrepreneurial journey, but realizing that I haven't left this behind, I take it with me. All the things I learned, I take with me. I was a college athlete. I kind of just moved into the career, was on the track, stepping up the ladder, was promoted every 2 years. Did really well, and I was positioned to be the president of the Sport Marketing Professionals Organization for the whole country, and I was going to be that president. You know, that's what everybody wants, right? And
did you want that?
Well, that's a good question, isn't it? I thought I did. I really did. You know, every choice that I've made, I've been fully present in that choice when I've made it, and so my heart really was there.
Yeah.
But when I had my awakening, right? When I had my moment, I realized that I had signed up for someone else's achievement system, and it wasn't really what my heart wanted.
Even though you thought that's the life you wanted, because it was in alignment with your passion, sports and marketing. Right. So which part wasn't there?
Yeah, that's a good question. So yeah, the sport, the passion, the people, the teaching, I was helping people. I loved that. I was teaching students. I loved that. But I was chained to a job that required me to be there, you know, 40, 50 hours a week. And I didn't have the time freedom that I wanted in my life to explore the other things, the spiritual part of my life, you know, my true heart's calling and passion, the writer part of me. I couldn't give up that time to do those things when I had to dedicate my whole self to my job.
Yes. So for me, it was just music, 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 to a point where I don't know who I am because I'm so invested into my music part of me. It sounds like like that.
Same.
And so many of us, it's really because it feels good. You get your validation, you get
Yeah.
your paycheck, everything is there,
Right.
right? What else should you want?
Correct.
And why not just live it and be grateful?
Right.
So then you had your waking up moment.
I did. So on August 29th, 2013, my daughter was born, which, you know, for any parent, that's an awakening moment in and of itself.
Yes.
Which I know you know.
Life-changing,
Yeah,
definitely.
completely. And so on that day, like everything else in my life, I had thought, okay, this is the schedule, it's going well. I went into labor, I drove myself to the hospital, it was going so quickly, went into labor, and, you know, things were progressing really quickly, and I thought, wow, we're gonna do this thing.
Yes.
And things
Yes.
just kind of weren't working, and my daughter's heart rate was raised, and I was having issues with a fever, and I wasn't feeling well, and they said we need to go do a cesarean section, and I didn't want to do that, but at that point, of course, you know,
Right.
I'm going to do anything to make sure that my daughter and I are both okay. And so they brought me in, and they gave me the spinal tap, and they laid me down, and they started to prep me for the procedure. And before I realized it, there was a bag over my face, and I was having a really hard time breathing, and I literally was suffocating. I couldn't breathe. It was, my diaphragm had frozen from the spinal tap, and so my lung volume was
Right.
extremely diminished, to the point where I was kind of like losing consciousness. And it happened so fast. You know, it was like 1 second we have Jack Johnson music playing, and we're all in the room like, yay, we get to meet, you know, I get to tell you her name and all these things, and all of a sudden everyone's quiet, the music's off, and the surgeon's asking the anesthesiologist, what can I do to help? And I'm realizing something's not okay. My husband's not here, and I'm starting to lose my grip. And in that space, the words that were bubbling up in my head were, I have so much more to do here, and I'm not doing it. And so that was profound, and it was a moment of whatever happens is going to happen. But I knew, and in my surrender, you know, I had this moment of surrender where, okay, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But no matter what, when I leave this operating room, things are going to change, right? I'm going to make a change. And when I surrendered to that, I could breathe again.
Wow.
And it was amazing.
So what I hear is, so you spend your whole life, you have, you know, you see, you visualize the success, you know how to get there, you hit all the marks, and now you're in a situation where you really don't have that control.
Right, right, at all.
And you all of a sudden are responsible for this new life that's growing inside of you, and you want to be a part of it, and yet there's nothing you can do.
Right.
And that's the moment of surrender that you're talking about.
Completely. I had, it was humbling, and, you know, and I said, okay, I got you. Here, you know, I hear you, you know, and I had to honor that awakening. And I've said this before, but I felt as though I was reborn in that operating room. There was no way I was going to leave that room the same.
The same. So what did you do to not go back to the sameness? Because that's a scary thing. Okay, you know now you want to do something, you have to change something. You want to, you're there, but you still have to take steps.
Right. Scary steps.
Scary
steps. You have to say things that, you know, are coming from a place of your heartfulness, but you're still not 100% sure. You know, how's this going to work out? I have another mouth to feed. I have a mortgage to pay. I have all these things I need to do. I've worked so hard, and everybody knows me as this person, and now are they going to think that, you know, I'm not her, or that I was, you know, being disingenuous? Because to me, that's not how I want to operate in the world. I really try to go in my whole heart with everything that I do. And so it took time. It took some time. You know, obviously I came out of there, I had a lot of complications to deal with. I'm a new mom, I have a baby.
And it doesn't come with the manual
No,
either.
at all. And so that took some months to really figure that out. But when I went back to work in December, I remember feeling like an alien when I got back to work. I felt like everything had changed in my world while I was away. And it was the first time in my life that I had spent a concentrated period of time away from this kind of environment. You know, I was a college athlete, I was in the funnel to become one, then I started my job, and I was in that space, and it was just such a competitive, you know, movement-based field to be in. It was like, always have something happening. And so it's, you know, there's a lot of energy and fun around it, but I never had a chance to step away. And so I had stepped away after having this awakening moment. I'm now a mom, realizing that now that I'm back at work, all I'm doing is leaving all the time. And that's just not the mom I want to be. You know, that's not, I don't want to have to leave all the time if I can figure out another solution.
Yes, and in that space that you were away, it did change the pattern.
Right.
Like you said,
Right.
it threw you off of the carousel.
That's
I like to
Yeah, I
talk
love
about
that.
carousels. It threw you off, and you were now in a different space, and you maybe had a different perspective on who you are and what you want.
Right.
And so when you came back, you say,
Yeah.
"Wow, am I an alien?" That's such a great
That's what I
picture.
felt like. I just remember looking around at a meeting, and I loved these people. I mean, I had worked with them for a
Yes.
decade, you know, and looking at them just saying, I don't think I want the same things that you guys want anymore. And being afraid to figure out how I was going to say that, you know, in a way that wasn't going to be threatening, right?
Yeah.
Also.
And was there grief because you spent so much of your life investing into this?
Yeah.
I'm asking all these questions because I think that's what stops us
Right.
to really make this step. Even if we have our awakening or wake up call,
Right.
so many of us just retrieve back.
Right.
There's fear, like you said, you know, I built all of this for many years. Grief, oh, so much grief. So how did you work? Okay, you obviously worked through that.
Right. I did. You know, one of the things that was a really powerful exercise for me was on December 31st of 2013, I wrote a letter to myself, my future self. And I wrote, "Dear future self," and I wrote this letter of what I envisioned for my future and what I really wanted 2014 to look like. And, you know, from just my space of love and truth. And I wrote it and I sealed it, and I just really focused on what those intentions were. And then, you know, I just started kind of investing in that kind of, you know, visualizing and journaling and really, you know, thinking about what it was I wanted to create in my life.
So you write the letter, and it sounds like, again, you're using pretty much a similar exercise, right, of setting the goal.
Yes.
But did this letter contain the other, you know, the spiritual, the emotional?
Yeah. Well, you know what the difference was I was focusing on how I wanted to feel.
Oh, beautiful. Yes.
Right. So I was focused on how I wanted to feel. And one of those big feelings was I wanted freedom in my life. And I was really clear that I wanted freedom. And so then it was, okay, now that I've cleared it out that it's freedom, what are the steps that I now have to put into place to achieve that freedom?
So instead of going outward, looking at what you want outwardly your life to look like, what do you want it to feel from the inside?
Yes.
And that is more in alignment
Right.
with who we are.
That's right.
Oh, beautiful. And to figure that all out, to have such a big life change at your age, such an early age, and then to allow your life now to bloom and thrive with your daughter.
Yeah.
What a gift.
It is. I can't, you know, I'm humbled every single day, every day.
And you also give back.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's what we were put to do here. And I feel like I can do it even more now because as an entrepreneur, I have a little more freedom. I have a little more, you know, room to do fun things, fun projects that really come from my truth and my heart.
And tell us about those.
Yeah, so I'm a soul-based branding and business coach right now. I'm also a writer.
Okay, what is that for those that don't know much about soul-based branding?
Yeah.
How is that different from?
So it's different because I work with my clients on helping them get in alignment with their truth, whatever that happens to be. And I help them design businesses and brands that are going to reflect that truth. So many times we create businesses and structures of things that we think we're supposed to be doing because we've read or we did a course or it's like the right thing we're supposed to do, but it's not really the right thing if it doesn't feel right for you.
Yes.
And so my whole goal and focus with my clients is helping them access that truth and that love and that joy and that service and figuring out how you're going to give to grow.
You're going to arrive there, be successful, and say, "Oh, this is not it.
Right.
I'm still not fulfilled.
Right.
I'm still not serving."
And then that creates, you know, all the spiral effects of addiction and abuse and all these other things that can possibly happen as a byproduct to medicate yourself through that struggle. So I really believe that I'm helping people, you know, and their families and their soul's calling by doing this work in this way. And so it feels very holy to me.
Absolutely. And I believe that, you know, by you helping individuals, then we each one of us that you help, we have more opportunity to show up who we are and then change the world. What I love about your work is that, you know, we have these exterior manifestations of our gifts, of how we show up, you know, through music, through a video show, through brand coaching and life coaching. But what I love that you focus on is really that it has to come from the inwards. And, you know, and I'm passionate about, you know, inspiring people to make this change within, to really look into our souls and find out who we are first in order to make this, to carve out the path and then set up goals and visions for ourselves. So you have a course that I love, the Mama Revolution, is that what it's called?
Yeah. Yep.
Love it. And if I had it when my kids were little, when I had 3 toddlers at home and I was still working, I said I would have paid big money for it. And yours is so beautifully constructed. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah. So it's a 6-week course that, and really it's, you know, again, if I had had it, you know, a year ago too, that would have been really helpful. But that was one of my big goals, was creating content for my former self, because I know that there are women who are in my shoes, you know, in the shoes that I was in before now. And I really want to give them hope and to give them direction and also permission to want what they really want and to create it in the world. And so the whole notion of this course is to not only support them on building a brand or a business that comes from their heart, right, that with whatever their skill set is. We do a lot of mindset work to help them get to the place of being ready to do that creation work, because as you know, getting to that space of wanting to do something that you're really passionate about, you got to go through a lot of steps to get there. So we go through those steps, then we do some of the action to get it moving and created. And then I also weave in there, you know, how you do it as a mom, because it's a really different dynamic as a work from home mom than it is, you know, for people who are working in a corporate job. You know, yes, we have childcare issues or not, but most of the time when a woman makes a transition to do an entrepreneurial venture from home, the chief goal is to be home with the child. And you can't really do the work the way you want to do it when you have an 18-month-old like climbing on your desk and up on your computer and taking selfies and stuff, right? So how to do that, how to make that work in a way that's going to feel good financially, feel good in your heart, so that you're not, you know, sitting at your desk feeling guilty, and also, you know, feel both of you, your child and you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, one thing for me was that as soon as I would get into my creative mode, everything was set up. You know, little one of them would come and say, "Mama, can you tuck me in or read me a story?" And by the time I did that, my song was gone.
Right.
Forget about it.
Right.
But you know, even if it's not the building of business, I find your course even just for, you know, how to organize my day to make it through, and still, because you know, the kids, I love the quote by Khalil Gibran when he says, our kids do not belong to us. They're not our own. They're their own people, right? And they pass through our lives, and we give them everything that we can, and we want to spend this time together. But then they leave. They are their own people. And so when they go, we're still going to be here.
Right.
Doing what we are supposed to do. So this course, your course, I think can help women and mothers, young mothers, mothers-to-be, to go through this time.
Right. And get ready building what your thing is in the world.
So there would be no empty nest syndrome anymore.
That's right. I mean, ultimately, that's the goal, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's funny, I posted a quote today on Facebook. It says, it's impossible to feel guilty and present at the same time. And I think that's really important, specifically for the moms, because, you know, you can be sitting there at your desk, and, you know, we have some help, in-home help on certain days. That's part of the strategy, is like making that okay. And sometimes I feel that pang of guilt, like, oh, I really want to be playing with my daughter right now, but you know what? I'm going to be more present when I play with her, because I had my time to do this right now. You know, to do this work, to get this done, to feel good in the world, you know, sharing my message. And then I shut it off, and then I go be a mom.
Yes. And it sounds so simple when you said it, but when we're in it,
it's not.
It's not.
So as women, we need support systems.
Yes.
And so that's the idea with this program, is that we have each other. It's a group. We're all in it together and supporting each other along the way.
if you're looking for a support system, okay, I'm going to post the link, but say it, your Facebook group.
Oh, my Facebook group, the Live Your Freedom Mastermind,
Yes, please
Facebook.
get on it.
It's free, just add yourself. It's an empowering space, right? Every morning we're talking about all kinds of cool stuff.
It's a great support group.
I love it.
And Amber posts great inspirational thoughts every morning. I wonder, how do you every morning have so much energy? Like some mornings I'm like, forget about inspiration. I just don't have it today. It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for just giving so much. And yet you know, keeping it integral to yourself.
Yeah, well, thanks. You know, it's like I was saying to you in our break when we were just chatting, it's that, you know, you feel like you were born with certain gifts, and I believe we all were born with the voice inside of us that we know, and sometimes we just get away from it. But when you can tap back into that source, into that power, into that light, and really channel it, amazing things happen. Miracles happen in your life. Things that you know, your self-limiting beliefs tell you are not possible. They are possible.
Yes.
They really are, if you allow yourself to believe that. And then what I always love to say is give yourself permission to want what you want in your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
From within.
That's right. Yeah.
Wonderful. So you're writing your book.
I
You're
am.
getting ready to hit the stage and speak and
Yeah.
inspire.
Yep. So excited.
You're going to take your baby with you when you travel?
That's what I would love to.
Yes.
Yeah, that is my goal. I want, you know, my vision is that we can do some family travel.
Then
you know.
I'll coach you on how to live a life
Yes.
on the road
I
with
will
kids.
definitely need that. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, one thing we need to talk about really quickly.
Oh, yeah.
About your singing.
Oh.
You have such a beautiful singing voice.
Thank you so much. I'm so shy about it.
Oh,
so.
no. So Amber, you sang national anthems for many games.
Yeah. I mean,
big games.
Center ice, center court. When I was really young, I wanted to be you, Tai Chi. I wanted to be a pop singer. That's what I wanted to be. And so the fact that, you know, maybe it's, you know, not necessarily I'm doing it as me and my, you know, in a sport venue and singing whatever. I don't know. I feel like it's my opportunity. I'm actually living that dream out a little bit. So
Yeah.
it feels really rewarding.
So you're going to sing for us.
Yeah, we're going to do it.
There's some times in life when we do crazy things that don't make sense, like standing on ice in the ice hockey rink
Yep.
in high heels,
Yep.
just because. There's no fear,
Right.
no regret,
No, this is
just
awesome.
freedom.
Life
yeah?
is awesome.
Like you said, just another day in the office.
Just another day. This is what we do. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Yay! Thank you. Thank you. That was fun.